look what I just got in, okay? And you could tell that it came from a far, far away place because FedEx dropped it. FedEx, you suck. They dropped the radio. The corner was messed up on the box, even though the box could have been packed better. You can see this is popping up. It was not like that when I bought it. The bulb for this is hanging down here somewhere. I have to reposition that up back in. And this knob right here is a little stiff, but it does appear to work. So FedEx, kiss my ass. To the seller on eBay that sold this to me from Japan, great find. This radio is very clean inside and out from what I've seen taking this out for the age. 1987. This is the Yaesu FT-736 VHF UHF all mode transceiver. But wait, there's more. I bought this with 2 additional band modules already installed. So this radio will do 6 meters, 2 meters, 440 or 70 centimeters, and 1.2 gig, right? All mode other than AM, I guess. It shows lower sideband, upper sideband, FM wide, FM narrow, CW, okay? With cat control. And check this out. In 1987, this was like top of the line, man. This was expensive. I'm going to show you those prices in a minute. I also got with it the original Yaesu manual and the optional DC power cord. Now, first off, with the band modules in here, what I really want to do, okay, like for instance, the 6 meter module alone on eBay goes for $200-300. You can't find a 1.2 gigahertz. If you do, you're paying out the butt. But they also made a 220 megahertz module for this. So I want to find one of those. If you have one, shoot me an email, HamRadioConcepts@gmail.com, and let me know if you have the 220 megahertz North American band module for this, because I think they only made it in North America, or for North America. And I want to take the 6 meter out, and so it'll be 144, 220, 440, 1.2 gig. That would be amazing. But for now, I'll probably use this mainly for VHF, UHF, without 6 meters, okay? Now, for the time at this radio, look at this. It's got full duplex satellite tracking mode. So I can actually use this as set my receive and transmit, and as I tune on a band, it'll tune the uplink and the downlink. So, like the 9700 has that icon, I could do satellites with this as well. So this is gonna be my designated VHF, I mean, guys, did you see a couple weeks ago the band conditions on 2 meters alone? Sporadic key opening or tropospheric ducting. I almost made a contact pretty much one way to Alabama on VHF 2 meters at 50 watts with a 7-inch compact antenna. With this in my 13 element Yagi on 2 meters at 40 foot on top of the tower and an amp behind it, I am going to be selling some more stuff. I'm going to be building a 2 meter amp. We'll get into that. But satellite tracking mode, and it does have a lot of features. The majority of everything is, well, everything, yeah, is on the front. Okay, there's no menu driven, nothing. But from what I've learned to start playing with, there are some multi-function buttons that you got to look in the manual for. You know, you use this or that, you know, to turn this on, you push this or push that. There's a lot of stuff here, but standard features, you know, 8-pin round mic here. It's got a preamp on the top. And like I said, VHF, 6 meter, 2 meter, 440, 1.2 gig with memories and more. Now, that's an eyesore. That's bothering the hell out of me. I even emailed eBay, the guy or seller, and I said, I'm looking at the pictures real close, so I didn't see that. Please just tell me for my sake so I know, was this sold like that? And I don't care because I'm going to keep it, or did FedEx do it? But I paid $3.99 for this radio, okay? And $80 shipping from Japan and $33 taxes. So I got this for $512 and change. I'm excited to use this. I got the bug for that EME the first time that I did that UHF backyard Moonbounce. Remember, I struggled with the antenna on UHF, got it fixed finally, and then made it Moonbounce. And now I'm going to do it again. I just ordered, which is coming Monday. It was supposed to be here yesterday. Was the antennas-amplifiers.com. I got the 36 element 1.2 gigahertz Yagi. So I think that's like 8 or 12 foot, I can't remember. So that is going to be 1.2 gigahertz, but you said, hey, Eric, you got the ICOM 1271 over here, 1.2 gigahertz. Why are you doing this? Well, I'll use that radio once, and that's going in my little museum. That thing's mint condition. I'm just going to leave it. But this I could cover 2 meters, 440, 1.2 gig Moonbounce. Pretty cool. And terrestrial. I mean, When the band opens, I'll be swinging the beam on VHF, UHF. And you know what? The world needs more 1.2 gigahertz operators. Everybody's got 9700. Where the hell are all the antennas at? Because nobody's got one up for 1.2 gig. So anyways, I want to tell you, so I printed out a product review. This was conducted by James Healy, NJ2L. And I'm not sure how old this is. I guess I looked at this from a QST. I guess 1990, I think, if that's what that said. But I read a lot about it. Six pages here. And the thing about this is, of course, this is the 736, not the R. 736R, I guess, was the North American version, I think. So this right here is the Japanese version. So that means 2 meters only goes 144 to 146. 70 centimeters goes 430 to 440. It does pretty much almost the entire 1.2 gig band, and it does all of 6 meters. And you may say, well, Eric, that sucks. Well, I don't need to use repeaters in this. I'm not going to be using repeaters at all with this. So this is mainly for sideband, CW, and digital for EME Moonbounce with this. So it'll cover all those frequencies. That's why I considered it also, because I'm never going to use an offset and a repeater and need to be up there at 147 or whatever. I don't need it. Now, I want to tell you something. There's a lot of, Yaesu even says there's not a lot of information still out there for this. You can't find a manual PDF. I mean, I found one. I don't even know what happened. The site kept crashing every time I was trying to print it out. But so I got the manual here. But nobody knows, well, a lot of people didn't know how much this cost back then. Well, I found some information, okay? Now, this radio, I paid $399 plus $80 plus $33, okay? This radio in, I guess, 1987 or 88 when it came out, cost $1,570. And that equates to $4,452 today. That was an expensive radio back then. The 6 meter optional band module was $265. That is installed in here, and today's price would be $751, you know, equating to 1987 currency dollar or whatever. The 220 megahertz band module, which I cannot find. I saw one got sold years ago somewhere on one of the sites I was looking at, Swap Meet, but I want that 220 megahertz module. That's another Moonbounce I could do. And back in the day it was 290, which today would be, I don't know because I didn't write that down, but it would be expensive. A little more than $800. Okay. Now, the 1.2 gigahertz optional band module back then was $530, which equates today to $1,503 to add 1.2 gigahertz to that. And lastly, the DC cable. Well, then they also had the FSTV interface, the voice synthesizer, which I'm not sure, does this have that in there? Where would the voice button even be? I don't know. I haven't looked at that. Speak? Okay, it's not in there. Right, that's not in there. That's okay. I don't need a voice synthesizer. But if you are vision impaired and you have that, this will, because a lot of people always ask about that with ham radios. Does that thing have assistance for, you know, handicapped hams? Well, it does have a voice synthesizer. It'll tell you your band, your mode, and stuff like that. And they also have a CTCSS encoder and decoder. Okay, but the optional DC cable back then to put this on DC was $20, which equates to $56.73 in today's money. So if you add all that up, we're up to about over $7,000 worth in this box alone. That, you know, back then would be, you know, however much I just said. So you get the idea. Very expensive radio. It does have the handle on the side. I'm going to show you around this radio here. Okay, so 120 volts in here. Also, you know, the internal power supply. So if you wanted to use this on DC, you would pop this out and put your DC right in. Okay, it's got a cat control. There's a cat control and there's a data connector, 5-pin DIN. Key jack, external speaker, PTT, data in and out here. And here's your 4-band module. So you can see these two come installed, 144 and 430, and 50 megahertz was put in, and 1.2. So, you know, whatever In fact, you know what? Interesting. I wish that was N. I wish that was an N connector like that 1.2 gig. I don't know if I should change that. The loss would be so minimal. I'll just leave that alone. But here we go. My UHF amplifier is N. Now I need to go make another cable and go back to from this radio, SO239 or PL259, to an N on the other side. Okay, so all my N jumpers won't work on there without an adapter and 1.2 gig. So like if I can find that 220 module, this one's coming out and I'm putting it right there. So 144, 220, 430, 1.2 gig. Solid heat sink on the back. I'm not going to take it apart now. I did take it apart because I was deathly afraid of what that was and went out, with this bent part up here. And it doesn't look too bad, but I got to fix that light bulb. And if I can straighten this out a little bit, I'll do that. But yeah, so the thing is, the signal link is going to go down here. This one. Audio and whatever. So I could use this for EME Q65 on Earth, Moon, Earth. And there you go. So I've been selling a lot of things, and I put that money all towards this, the 1.2 gig antenna, the signal link. So I'm about $800 into this whole setup with everything, the adapters or connectors and whatever else I got. For the radio, the antenna, the signal link. I bought something else. Now, I still have a couple things left. I'm going to keep going because I got stuff piled in the closet. I mean, I sold all my CB and 10 meter radios that were brand new in boxes. That stuff went fast on my Facebook page. I mean, so I just sold all that stuff, shipped it all out. I got some stuff left. I got a couple more radios I'm going to sell because now I want to build a 2 meter amplifier. With looking at the DXWorld-E website, a lot of amplifier palettes and stuff. I'm going to build my own 500 watt 2 meter amp. That's going to be for terrestrial and Moonbounce. I already have the Mirage 100 watt for UHF. 10 watts I'm going to leave alone on the 1.2 gig. I mean, the 9700 has 10 watts. This has 10 watts. And for now, if I want to use this for 6 meters, if I happen to do that, because I mean, I could use the 705 for that or something, or the Kenwood that I have, the TS940. So maybe I'll use this for this. But other than that, that is my little toy here. And if you're OCD, that will bother you too. I keep looking at that damn thing. Even the Yaesu sticker, glued part is coming off, so I got to glue that down. See. But anyways, there we go. That is the Yaesu FT-736. And let's try to answer the negative comments right now. Eric, you wasted your money. What a stupid idea. Well, go buy whatever you want. Eric, you could have got a 9700. That's way more modern than that. Well, I had a 9700. I had to buy a house. And I had to sell and put my wife and family first to buy a house. I haven't bought that back, but that radio is $1,600 still. And realistically, I'm not going to be using this that much, okay? The moon only, you can only see the moon or certain parts of the day and certain parts of the month. So, I mean, it's not an everyday thing on here, In fact, I got like 3 or 4 more days coming before I got a perfect time to work a European station from here earlier in the day when they're still awake, and but then sometimes in a month, no, I'm not getting up at 4:30 in the morning to do Moonbounce, you know what I mean? And then I'm working all day, so that's just how that works. Other than that, if anything else negative, put that in the comments below. Tell me how much I suck, how stupid it was, because that's what a lot of people do these days. I don't care. And check out the Facebook page. I mean, I know I'm going to sell the Radioddity DB40D, which is that DMR, dual band, cross band, same band, whatever radio. Probably going to sell that. I got some other stuff. I got the smart tweezers. Remember these? I don't know where they are. I got stuff here that I just kept pulling out of the closet and selling. So after I get this set up on 1.2 gig, I'm probably going to make that other UHF antenna I told you about, the 3D printed pieces. I'm going to try UHF because I totally abandoned the 1.2 gig, and shame on me for getting so stressed out. But man, building a 1.2 gigahertz antenna is very, very tough. There's not a lot of room for error. The measurements and the width of this SD card is the difference between that thing being tuned and not. So I chose to buy an antenna. I'll show you a video on that here coming up next when it gets here Monday. And I would hope that antenna is perfect because you need every bit of gain that you need at 10 watts on 1.2 gig. and every bit of forward gain and stuff and precision accuracy on that antenna in order to use it for Moonbounce. Could you imagine if I just said, screw it. That thing is 1.6 to 1. It's nowhere near 50 ohms, but hey, I can still try it. No, I would have never hit the moon with 1.2 gigahertz. No. So that's it. Leave your comments below. And I also got the ICOM 471, the older. You see how I'm going backwards here? You see how this is working? I'm going backwards in time. This stuff right here is way more fun for me. Think about this, man. How many friggin' people have talked across the state, country, or world on this radio? You know what I mean? How many people have used this thing that are no longer on Earth, but here it is now in my hands to continue the legacy and not let it die in somebody's closet or get smashed, off the back of a truck somewhere or burned in a fire or whatever. I don't know. Here it is. I'm kind of excited. I mean, that's how I work. I get things. I can't wait. I'm checking and tracking. Now it's just going to sit here for a couple more days, get my head wrapped around it, read through the manual even more, and read some more stuff online, and then play with it. But I got the 471A. I'm going to do that. I made an interface for that for PTT and audio. So I'm going to use that analog or old analog, 1985 UHF all mode radio for Moonbounce. Then I'm going to fire up this 1271A ICOM, and you've seen the videos on those. And there you go. So sorry I rambled so much. It's a Saturday, and I'm just having fun and relaxing and enjoying the day. 7.3 KJ4YZI.